All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Get Growing weekly work session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, and we are joined today by our entire team. Everybody go ahead and say hello and where you are in the world.
Hey, everyone. I'm Greg. I'm in Fargo, so I think most of us are, but I think I just blew the surprise. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if everybody knows that. Cool. And we have Amanda here as well, co-founder of GetOiling.
Hi guys, good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you guys are watching this. I hope you guys are having a great day so far and excited to see what today's training is all about.
Fantastic. And we have Kim Mink here, also in Fargo. There you are.
I have no audio.
Oh, no, you do. We can hear you fine.
Oh, she probably can't hear us.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, we're glad we have everybody here. This is fantastic. And we see we've got some folks coming in the chat. Let's see. Awesome. Good to see you guys. All right. So today we are talking about taking your events online. And I actually wanted to see if we could get a volunteer from our live attendee list here today. If you are someone who would like to have an event online and would like to have me demo how we set this up inside your account. I'm going to say first to raise the hand and tell me that you want this. Who would like me to do this? All right. Ooh, oh no, I didn't see who did it first. Okay.
I think it was Judy, maybe by a fraction of a second.
All right, Judy. All right, Judy, I have unmuted you. Hi, Judy. Can you chat with us here for a second? If you are able to unmute yourself, you should be able to talk.
Oh, I got it.
Awesome. Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. All right, so Judy, have you ever held any online events before?
I have, but they haven't gone very successfully. I've done, I've had maybe 2 people sign up, and usually one of them is already a member.
Okay. And you have a GetOiling account, Judy?
I have, well, I think so. You guys sent me the email, so I'm not sure. I've signed up for so many things.
Oh, I see. Okay. Tell you what, in our chat, send me your email address in chat. And we'll go in here and make sure that we've got you. It may be that you don't actually have an account with us, and you can if you get started, or if you don't have one, you can get started for $1 right now, and I can set this up for you, and you'll be all set up for an online class. Or we could do that another day as well. But you let me know. Just shoot that email over so I can make sure that we've got that set up. But
Right.
What's that?
I think I just sent it.
Okay, there we go. Let me check that out. So tell me about, what's that?
It's in the chat.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it doesn't, I don't think that you have an account with us yet, Judy. Tell you what, if you want to go over to getoiling.com and get started for $1, we can get your account set up with all of this stuff right now. If you go ahead and let me know if you want to maybe do that another time, that's totally fine. But while we have you here, I do want to find out about how you went about doing your online event, right? Because everybody's got 5 different ways of doing things. And I want to hear about yours specifically. So tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I'm a star
with
Young Living, and I just started out. So I borrowed a Zoom account from my friend, who's actually my leader, so that I could actually have more than one person on the Zoom account, because I couldn't, I have to really mind my P's and Q's right now. I'm not employed. So every $1 that I spend, I have to be accounted for where it's being taken away from.
Absolutely.
So, and then, so I created my own workshop on lavender, which was way too much time anyway. But, and I recently joined a group that offers lectures that are already pre-made. So it'll be a little bit more professional for me. And then I mentioned the workshop on Facebook in the events page, and anybody that signed up, I actually, what it was an essential oils class. And so anybody that signed up, I sent them a mini kit, which I just put a couple drops in dram bottles, and I mailed it out to them, and they had to pay me $5 for that. But the downside is I only got 2 people signed up, and one of which was a team member. So
Okay.
and I haven't had anybody sign up through that. So I'm looking for some ideas on how to successfully do an online. I just moved to my new state, so I literally know nobody to do a face-to-face yet.
Okay.
So we moved here for retiring, and we literally have no family or anything here. So I'm like, on a desert island right now.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, no, you're not alone. We hear a similar story almost every week. Folks moving to a new area or just kind of feeling like they have run out of people to talk to. So tell you what, you can follow along today. And then if you wanted to get started, it's $1 for your first month. If you check this out today and how it's set up, and then you can actually follow these steps in the recording to put this into place for you. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining, Judy. And I want to address some of these things that you're sharing here, because I know you're not alone. And I hope that the perspective that we give you here today will help you make this really successful for you.
Sounds wonderful.
Awesome. Take care.
Thank you.
Oh, cut you off a little fast there. Sorry about that. All right. Diane, if you have your hand raised, are you currently a GetOiling member, and we can sign into your account and set this up and demo this for you? Do let me know. While we're getting this established, if we have a volunteer who has an account that would like to have this set up, okay, perfect, Diane. Will you please do the same and type your email address to the panelists, and then we'll be able to pull that account up for you and get rolling. So what Judy was talking about, this, going through all of the trouble and then having 2 people show up and one of them is already a member. This is a pretty common frustration, right? Quick show of hands. Have you done this before, in person or online, right? Where you've either had nobody show up or everybody that showed up is already a member and so on. It's frustrating, right? Because it can take a lot of time. The whole point of what I wanted to put together and share with you guys today is in line with a philosophy that I personally believe in and that I think we could all benefit from. And that is the work once philosophy. Who here would like to do one thing and have it continue working for you over and over and over and over again? Right? It's no brainer, right? So the thing about setting up an online class, and the way by which I'm going to help you see a way to setting up your classes online today, it is going to take a little bit of time on the front end, and we will show you all the shortcuts that we possibly can to make this work for you quickly and easily. But the thing about this is that you can host this for one person and then transform this into something that you can share over and over and over and over and over again, many, many times into the future. So that when you do a class on today, the example I'm going to share with you is KidSense, that will be your class for KidSense that you can just share with folks. So instead of saying, I have a live class coming up on KidSense, you can say, I held a class recently on KidSense. Here, let me give you the link to this. Right? So that they can get that drip of information, so that they can watch the class. And then after they've watched it, you can follow up, right? Should you meet in person? If you can, yes. But a lot of people you can't nail down on the calendar that quickly, that easily. So, all right. Hey, Diane, I thought that might have been you. We got a lot of Dianes. Wanted to make sure it was you. All right. So I'm going to go into your account. I'm also going to bring you out to chat with us. There we go. Hello, Diane. I'm going to come over and log in, and then I'm going to share my screen. You are able to unmute and chat with us if you like. Otherwise, we can keep it going in the chat box here. You can actually talk if you want to unmute yourself.
I believe it's unmuted. Do you hear me?
Yes, we do. Hi.
Hi.
How have you been?
Very good. Glad it's just my little black and white picture because I'm just got back from the gym.
No worries. All right. I am currently searching for your account in GetOiling.
All right.
And well,
oh, you know what? I changed my URL, so maybe it's under. Let me give you the other email.
okay. All right.
That might be what's going on.
I think it is.
Gave you my first one that I used. Let me give you my second one here.
Okay. Fantastic. Thank you guys all for being here and for your patience as we work to get this part done. I think that you know, the more we can actually get hands-on with you guys, the better results you can get, and the more empowered you can be to go out and get sharing in a new way. All right, let me type this in. Thank you, Diane, for sending that.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about the types of events you want to hold or that you have held in the past.
Are you asking me what type of events I've held? I did one Facebook event last month, and it was on 3 months of wellness, like the you know, starting a wellness journey and going, you know, swapping out and
okay.
I just did post on a Facebook, so that I haven't done a webinar.
Okay. Okay. Well, so what we're going to talk about today is going to afford a webinar option. All right. And actually that is going to be the focus for today. What we want to do, and just so you guys know, it's not actually a webinar in the formal context, but the format and the way that we would be setting up this event is basically as though you were going to hold a live presentation online. People come to Zoom to receive the information, the presentation, and then of course you have that follow-up information that follows. Now we're going to do this inside of your account, Diane, but before we even get here, this is where a lot of people get overwhelmed and frustrated. And how many of you guys have said, hey, I'm gonna get a thing done, and then you log in and you're like, oh God, what do I do? All right, what we're gonna do right now is talk about the pre-work. This is what we have to do first before we do anything else. We got to decide what is it that we want, right? What's the outcome that we want? What are the steps that we're going to take? If we don't do this work first, we won't get anything done. So we have a live online event. Now, just so you guys know, the means by which we're going to get this done quickly today is we are going to be using some pre-made content from Grow Workspace. All right, they have bundles. I know a lot of you guys already use them. They have bundles that have lots of class information, and I'm actually going to be copying and pasting over. This is a Kids Sense class we're going to put together, and of course, Diane, when we're done, you can go out into the world and use it. So here's a couple of things I want to put out here first. A lot of us have held classes by text, yes. A lot of us have held classes by Facebook. Right? So Facebook classes, maybe you drip images, or Instagram, you drip images, or you do a Facebook Live. All right. I want to make an important point to you guys. Having been an internet marketer going back to 2011, I've seen the trends as they've come and gone. And while text marketing, and we have text marketing for those of you who don't know, we have all of the marketing you need, but where text marketing and Facebook and Instagram marketing are concerned, they still pale in comparison to email. At the end of the day, email is still king. You can get emails to people, and sometimes they open and sometimes they don't, and same thing with text, right? And people might even with text, they'll open it more quickly, right? But in terms of longevity and your ability to easily and quickly get what you want, one of the most important things that you need to learn is building an email list, a list of people, a list of contacts who have said, I'm interested in what you have to say, who you can repeatedly come back to and share information with over a long period of time. That is the most profitable activity you can engage in for your business. Okay, so that is going to be built into this strategy that I'm going to teach you guys today. building an email list of interested people that you can continue to connect with and promote to into the future. All right? Who's still with me? All right. Now, are there ways to pull this, into text? Yes, totally. Are there ways to do stuff like this online on Facebook and Instagram? Yes, totally. But what we're going to talk about today is generating an email list for you using events, and more importantly, creating an event that you can host to whatever degree of success the first time, but then take that work that you did, repurpose it, and have that as a useful tool in your business that generates leads, educates your prospects, and ultimately leads to more people being more ready to say yes to Young Living. All right? That's the plan. All right, so first, what we want to do is we want to set a date. So Diane, if we were to hold a KidSense class for you in the future, and we can change this, you'll have this in your account. Let's talk dates. Do you want to do this next week? 2 weeks from now? You still with me?
Oh yeah, I was in the mode of typing, so from some reason
Sure.
I forgot that I could speak to you.
It's okay. All right, so you want to do this next week?
I said 2 weeks. I typed 2 weeks rather.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
What's the date?
Let's see. I will pick. Looking at the calendar. Let's look at the 23rd. Well, that's more than 2 weeks, but actually, if you could make it the 23rd, that would be easier.
Okay, so 23rd of October.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Is that going to be an evening class? Is it going to be a daytime class?
I am in the Pacific Coast, so I try to do something like how about like a 4, so that if it's East Coast people, they can have a reasonable time too.
Perfect. All right. So the topic, the product line we're covering is KidSense. And since we already have, and I want to basically demo by plugging this information in with graphics already made, we've got this stuff figured out already. So now you'll have a template from this to modify. So if you wanted to, do something that's more branded to you, if you want to do something that is more along the lines of what you were talking about, you can literally go in and change the images and change the words. And you can have this exactly how you want if you don't want to do KidSense specifically. All right, so the topic is, I believe this is going to be simple, safe solutions to peaceful, happy children. There we go. Or peaceful, calm children. How about that? Or actually calm, happy children. Yeah, so anyway, you can play around with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fantastic. Above the wellness line here, right? Okay, so now we want to talk about some things pertaining to the events. Now, this is at this stage in our planning, we're kind of free-forming here, because we'll get into the actual assets that we need to build here shortly. What you guys need to know is that the majority of the work actually happens before you log into your GetOiling account. So we will want to compile pictures, right? We'll want to have slides. This is something that we already have that we're going to use from Grow Workspace today, but if you have your own, by all means do them. You want to compile your copy. Copy is the stuff, just the words, the writing. So learn how to blah, 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 right? Or this is the topic we're going to cover, all right? But now I want to kind of get into the mechanics of your event. So for you personally, you've hosted, have you hosted online events before, Diane?
Only a Facebook posting event.
Okay. Oh, so you were posting in succession, right?
Correct.
Did you have people RSVP for it?
Yes.
Okay. Was it inside of like a Facebook event?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to be able to do with this that you weren't able to do in that instance is that those people in that Facebook event are now going to be in your contact manager, so that you can email them and text them whenever you want to, right? Depending on what information they give you. Okay.
Nice.
They're going to RSVP on this page, not on Facebook. See, Facebook is great because there's a lot of distracted people on there looking for something to be distracted by, but you can't own their attention in the way that you can if they have specifically said, Diane, I want to learn from you, right? So that's what we're going to do. Now, thinking about this, you've had a Facebook class, or maybe you've done offline classes as well, right?
Correct.
What's the number one most frustrating thing to you about classes?
Well, let's see, getting people to the class and then closing. I guess I have two top issues.
Okay. All right, so getting people to the class and closing either in the class or after. Okay, so let's talk about some things that we can do, things that we need to prepare for, right? So that this can be as successful as possible. So getting people to the class. So first, we need to be mindful of promotion, right? So people need to know about it. Second thing is we need reminders, right?
Yes.
So we need to kind of drip on them to prepare them for it. And promotion would mean for signups. Promotion is also for attendance. We want people to get excited about going, right? Not just, oh, that sounds neat, right? We need to drip information on them before the class begins so that they understand they can't miss this, right?
Yes.
You can also have potentially, and you don't have to do this, incentives. Maybe you have a giveaway for one person who's there live, but you don't have to do this. And as a matter of fact, for this strategy, we're not going to do it at all, because the whole point of this is not just to have this kid sense class, but to be able to reuse the recording of this presentation for you to share Young Living over and over and over and over and over and over again, using one link that does all of these things for you, that repeats all of this work that we're going to do today. Does that make sense?
I love it.
Fabulous. All right, so we're not even going to do that part, but we will have one thing to give away, because interestingly enough, with these Grow Workspace bundles, they provide PDFs. So we'll have like a freebie that we'll email to them right away when they sign up. All right, so getting people to the class. So we want to promote it so people know about it. We want to promote it so people show up. So this means people who have RSVP'd need to be promoted to until the event, right? And then we need a reminder. So 24 hours before and maybe an hour before the class. Okay, now closing, either in the class or after. Obviously, if we're doing this as a live presentation, getting people closed, on autopilot like that doesn't work in a live setting. In person, people don't just, take out their phones and sign up for Young Living when you're giving a presentation, right? So the fortune is in the follow-up here, right? So whether it's online or offline. So what this means is that in the context of GetOiling, we need to have a follow-up plan, right? So making sure that you don't drop the ball and can reach out to and speak to and then close the people who attended the class, right? All right, so we'll have a follow-up plan, and I'm gonna send you guys, whoever wants this after this recording, I'm gonna send you this list, okay? So you don't have to worry about trying to type to keep up with it. All right, so then we need a follow-up plan to make sure that we close the deal and we don't drop the ball. We also want to drip information, right? So this is where, because a lot of people will RSVP and then not show up, we want to send them the recording, of course, but then why not drip pieces of what you taught in the class over time so that you're still top of mind with the person who did RSVP? So that means this is going to be a campaign. All right, so we're going to have a campaign and a follow-up plan. The follow-up plan is what you do manually, and then the campaign is what follows. All right, so that basically covers these two things, right? So making sure that you're able to close after and making sure that people actually get to the class when you do it the first time, right? You still there?
I am here.
Perfect. Okay, got any questions so far?
I was interested about the time frame of promoting, because I find it hard to get people. Felt like I wasn't promoting in a long enough span of time, and you automatically talked about 2 weeks, and I felt like a little panicked because I'm like, oh no, can I get enough people in 2 weeks? And I was curious about that.
Yeah, so the thing is where we're talking about doing an event online, the fact is, and this is true in the world of the internet and marketing things on the internet, period, there is typically a fairly slim portion, meaning less than 50% of people who RSVP for an online event who show up live. There are ways that you can work to improve that, but it is kind of an inevitability. And that's why what we're going to do today, what we're going to set up, and then next week, what I'm going to teach you as sort of an adjunct to this is how you can do this work once so that it continues to work for you in the future, right? So 2 weeks ahead of time is a fine time to start, but don't stress yourself out about getting enough people there, because the work that you're doing this way is work that will continue to work for you. Whereas if we were doing the planning right now and this was just going to be an in-person class, yeah, absolutely, 2 weeks ahead of time and get 60 people RSVP'd, right? But for this, you are basically planning to build an asset that enables your sharing on an automated basis into the future. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So if 0 people show up, you're still winning if you use this strategy, because now you have an asset to continue sharing with. Okay. So that when you have a conversation with someone one-on-one, you say, hey, I just did a presentation on that. When do you have 30 minutes? I've got a video I can share with you. And then you share this link, and then they watch it, and then they get dripped on, and then you close, right?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So now let's talk about the setup. First, we are going to create a page for your event, right? So this, we actually have, for those of you who don't know, we have an events manager in GetOiling. And when people RSVP, they go into your contact manager. And when they RSVP, they can get campaigns, and you can see if they've opened the emails, click the links, and all that kind of good stuff. You can organize everything under one roof. You don't have to chase down your information on Facebook, Instagram, a text messaging platform, 6 different things. It's all right here. So we'll create our live event page that sells the event and gets people to register. We will then have a campaign. So we'll have that confirmation of their RSVP that sends out automatically, and that'll be a thank you message with a downloadable in this case, which we already have, and a call to action for them to invite their friends. Then we're going to set up our broadcasts. Now, this is different from campaigns. These are single messages that are scheduled because you have a scheduled date for your event, right? So we're going to have 24 hours before that event. We're going to schedule a message to go out to the people who are RSVP, all right? And then an hour before, we're going to schedule that reminder that you're about to go live, okay? We are also going to set up our post-event campaign. There's going to be a call to action. Did you love what you saw? Set up a time with me. And then we'll drip information out so that they continue to receive that information. And then, of course, we'll get to that follow-up plan as well. All right, let's get started. Now we've got our plan. So we come over here to our dashboard. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to events and hit create. Now, we've done trainings on events before, but today I actually am going to grab some information from, let me see if I have this. All right, Grow Workspace, which, can you guys see this? Did my screen transfer over from the back office? Zoom has been really weird with this for me lately.
It looks like I'm seeing your whole screen, including like the dock and everything. So it's not sharing just one window, it's sharing everything.
Perfect. Okay, good. Good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on their, that's not it. So when you get one of their bundles, you get a ton of information here. And I think it's the Facebook post content that I'm going to grab from. Yep, here we go. Marketing description. So this is going to go, I'm just going to copy all of this. And I'm going to put this into here. And of course you want to edit it because this is not a Facebook class. So I'm going to join me live at, what did we say, 4 p.m. on October 23rd?
Yes.
All right. So do yourself a favor after you RSVP, and what I'm going to put here, after you RSVP, be sure to add, and Diane, you'll want to do this later, my email to your address book so you don't miss any emails or giveaways from me. Got a friend who could benefit from this information. Share this link with them. The class is free. All right, there we go. So we're going to call this, and again, this is already a pre-made class. It's about KidSense, and some of the language in here is already, it's all pre-written, so you can just grab the information from there. And I think I'm going to call this, what did we say it was? Because we already did the planning, right? All right, simple, safe solutions to happy, calm children. I'm going to copy that and then paste that in there. Start date and time, 23rd of October, 4 o'clock Pacific time. We're going to call it an hour. So until 5 o'clock Pacific time. All right, now I'm going to choose an image for this. And we do already have some here because they provide the images for you. All right, now we've got this. We are good to go. We will be coming back to this page to connect our campaign once we make it. So let's create the event and then I'll show you what it looks like. Awesome. So here's actually where you'll be able to manage this. You'll be able to see who's attending, who said yes, who said no. You can actually have a to-do list here, and when you create a follow-up plan, it will apply. And you can see your attendee list, and this is where you would actually create a message to send in bulk to your attendees. All right, so let's view it so you see what it looks like. There we go. Here's your registration page. People can hit register, they put their information in, they say whether or not they're attending, and now they are in your contact manager when they sign up. Now let's go and make sure that there is a message waiting for them as soon as they sign up, okay? So what we're gonna do to create our campaign for this is we're gonna go to settings and campaigns. Now quickly, let's consult our planning here. We wanna make sure that we are promoting for attendance. So we wanna make sure that people are getting information that's going to get them excited. And then we wanna have reminders. Now, thinking about the fact that this is a date in the future, right? And campaigns are something that send based on when somebody RSVPs, we need to plan accordingly as to what messages go where, okay? So this campaign is gonna be very simple. This is simply going to be a thank you for signing up, and it is going to be a here's a free thing if you have a free thing to give away, and the call to action, invite your friends, all right? And that's what we put right down here. So the campaign is RSVP confirmation, thank you, downloadable, invite your friends. So coming back here, we're going to create a campaign. And we're going to call this, what was the name of our class? Always keep these the same, so it's very easy for you to know what's what. All right. Nobody is going to see this but you, so you can name it what you want to help you know exactly what it is. And Diane, how do you spell your last name here? Or, you know, no, don't even worry. I'm going to call it Diane. You can go change this when you want to.
Thank you.
All right. Sure. So we're going to have this email only, and we're going to hit create campaign. Simple as that. Now we're going to write a new message. We're going to say you're in, and then there we go. Simple, safe solutions, calm, happy children. Another thing you can do is personalize this. So you just grab the first name tag and you say you're in such and such name. Perfect. All right, so here we go. So thank you for registering for, there we go. Grab that. Here's a free, or here's a PDF guide to get you started on the path to learning about safe, healthy options for your kiddos. Okay, I'll show you guys how to upload that here in just a second. if you've got friends who would benefit from this information, be sure to share this link with them. Look forward to seeing you at the event. All right, so we need to add some links here. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to come over here to my events, and I'm going to go to manage and open that up in a new tab, just so this doesn't get confusing. All right, so we go to our events and simple save solutions. We're gonna hit view, grab this link right up here. So this link, this is the link we want them to share with their friends. Paste that right there, open a new tab. All right, PDF guide. How are we gonna do that? This is actually pretty cool. All you have to do is go right here where it says upload file, and then you find it on your computer. Excuse me, there we go. There's our KidSense PDF that Grow Workspace created, and I may be having an issue with my computer. Oh wait, is that the slide? There we go, there's our printable PDF. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to edit link here, copy this. That's the URL where they can actually just click and get it immediately. And we're gonna highlight this text, put that link right there, and then delete that. Okay, so now they've got their confirmation registration. Here's the PDF guide. If you've got friends, let them know. And actually one other thing, you want to add the details. So remember, date, time. Look for an email from me with a reminder 24 hours and 1 hour prior to the event. Okay, so date, October 23rd, 2019, and time 4 p.m. Pacific. All right, so now they have all of their expectations set, right? Is there anything else that you would want somebody to know before they attend this class? This is where you want to give them that first bit of information. Not the get excited about the product part yet, right? But the here's what I want you to do to prepare for this class. Here's where you need to go when it's time. Here's what to expect next. Make this campaign incredibly simple and straightforward. All right, so now we've got that. We don't need to add anything else to it. We're going to hit add message. Now we're going to manage our events. Go back to this event that we just created and apply the campaign by editing the event. All right, and then there it is. So now you have an event where as soon as somebody gets started, as soon as they RSVP, they're immediately going to get that from you. All right, now let's go back to our planning list here. All right, so we've got that done. Now we need to get our broadcasts done. So what we're gonna do here is actually, we go to edit event. Greg, how do we add a tag to an event? Is that something that we're able to do before we have anyone RSVP?
You know what? I don't think that's in there. Let me do a quick look. I can't remember if that like auto tags them or if there's no tagging.
Okay. Well, while we look for that, I'm going to show you a way to actually make this super easy for you to repeat into the future, regardless of whether you tag and when, because ultimately when it's time to send these email broadcasts, you can either broadcast right then or you can schedule it for the future. But the easiest way to know exactly what to send when you're ready to send is to create a saved reply. And if you're going to be doing this over and over again, so you're going to be hosting a bunch of online classes and you want to send these reminders, you just create these and then you edit them as you need to. So this saved reply is going to be KidSense class, or actually no, what was the name of our class?
Simple, safe solutions to calm, happy children, excuse me, calm, happy children.
All right. All right, and so this is going to be 24-hour reminder, okay? And so we're going to say The class is coming up soon. Personalize it. All right, so all right, so this is where you can add this additional information. For the sake of time, I'm not gonna fill that out completely, but basically what you wanna do, where you have this 24-hour reminder is to share, again, date, time, and then here's what to do next, okay? And then of course you add an image. I believe I've already put one in there. Just use this one here.
So I got an answer about the tagging whenever you're ready.
Yeah, please.
So there, it doesn't have an option to tag. That's something we could certainly add. But because of the RSVP feature, right on the event page itself, it's going to have a list of attendees, and there's a button that you can click, and then you'll be able to message them that way. So you don't have to tag them. It just sort of becomes, it's attached to this specific event. And you could actually tag them, like after the event is done, you could go back through, hit that button, and then tag them all if you wanted to for later reference. But right now we don't have that. Something we could add on our wish list, but yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so we'll show you exactly how to do what Greg just said here in just a second. So we have got this Simple Safe Solutions 24-hour reminder. Let's copy this. And we're gonna call this the 1-hour reminder. All right, and then we're going to edit this. And this is where we say we're about to go live. All right. And you just add that additional information again. Here's what to do next, so on and so forth. Now, let's talk about how you use these saved replies to fulfill this broadcast bit, right? So just to make sure everybody is engaged and remembering to get started. You can also broadcast information, drip out information manually this way as well. So if you wanted to create, for each class, just like you would say an email campaign, you can do that with these as well, although it's not quite as efficient a workflow. All right, so if we go to our events here and we view this, let's talk about what this looks like. So I'm going to RSVP for this so I can show you how to do what Greg just shared. All right, so I'm registered for the event. And so let's go back over here to our manage page. Now you see you have an attendee. Who is attending? Awesome.
Yay.
All right, so you click, yay. So you click, and now under actions, you can mail, go up here to saved replies. So imagine it's now 24 hours before, right? It's 4 o'clock on the 22nd of October. You're going to grab this right here, and all the information is already ready. So everybody who's RSVP'd, you get that out to them. And then an hour before, you go back over here again.
And you can also schedule those. You can also schedule those too. You don't have to send them. You don't have to actually manual that. So I don't know if you were getting to that, but wanted to mention that too.
No, thank you. I was about to blow right past that, Greg. Thank you. That is so important. So now actually the smart thing to do, so you never forget, is 24 hours before, you go ahead and schedule this to send to me. There we go. So now you don't even have to think about it. Let's go ahead and mail, set up to schedule the hour before as well. So the 23rd at 3 p.m. and let's make that saved reply the 1-hour reminder. Obviously you want to go in here and verify that the information is correct. Anytime you use a saved reply, it is a template, so edit it to your liking in the saved replies section under contacts. So now that's scheduled, mail, and now that's going to mail out. It's going to remind me 24 hours before. It's going to remind me an hour before. So the likelihood of me doing this, getting started, is going to be super high. Now, let's talk about the next thing that we need to do. For our event time, we need to go live on Zoom and record the session. So what this means is we need to go ahead and set up a Zoom event, a Zoom meeting in our GetOiling. So go right over here under video conferencing to Zoom. We're going to create a meeting here. We're going to grab a topic. And it's going to be one time. Schedule it. All right. Automatically start the video for the host. I would not start it for the participants. The duration, we'll call it an hour. You could do less. And then hit create meeting. Now, what do you want to do with this? Obviously, you're going to use this to start the meeting. But in order to invite people to come, in order to let them know where they need to go when it's time, we need to go over to that 1 hour reminder saved reply, don't we? Here's where you go, right? So copy. Let's go back over to settings. Let's go to our saved replies. And then oops, that's the 24 hours. Sorry about that. We're going to go to our 1 hour reminder. Link to join. And there it is. Right, so have that set up however you want to. If you want to remind them, turn off all your distractions, brew your tea, shut the kids out of the room, whatever. You put all that information in these emails that are in the reminders. You put that link there, so now they know exactly where to click when it's time to go. Don't have to worry about people who are on Facebook who are not paying attention because Facebook has 50 other things happening. They've got your attention for that period of time. All right, now, a couple more things to go over while we're still here doing this. All right, back to our setup. Now, we want to set up our post event. Now, make sure, I do want to clarify this and make sure for absolute certain so that you can work once, truly work once. When you go live with your Zoom, make sure you record it, because you are going to upload it to a site like Vimeo or Wistia or maybe YouTube, and you're going to, in our next training on this, you are going to take that and upload it to your GetOiling site, so that once people say, I want to learn about this, the safe way for, taking care of kids, they can enter their information on a landing page and then get that video on the other side. So I'm going to show you how to repurpose this stuff in the future training. So here's what we want to do post-event. This is to further warm up leads who did attend, and this is also to warm up and engage the people who maybe forgot or weren't able to show up. So going to campaigns, which we already know how to do, I am actually going to borrow some content for this that they have already created. So where do we go? Okay, so this one is Simple Safe Solutions to Calm Happy Children. So we're going to create one that is that for post-event. So I'm going to go ahead and just copy this since it already has the name in it. Oops. All right. Post-event. All right, so post-event. Perfect. Now we're going to remove this message and we're going to write a new one. And this one is going to be, thank you for attending. Here's some more info. And then we're going to share some info. And Diane, I'm actually going to go just for the sake of time today. I'm going to share a little bit of example here, but I'm going to fill this out the rest of the way for you afterwards, since I promised this for you.
Thank you.
Sure. All right. So what we can do is on one email, we can actually, talk about, we can have an email about seed to seal. We can have an email about, so in this instance, actually, let me see, I don't know if you guys could see this. Right. So we have a whole series. There's welcome, there's quality matters, usage and safety. We've got some products here. So in this email sequence, I am going to take these images and the copy that they've already provided inside of this bundle, and then plug that into a series of 10 or so campaign emails that will drip out one day at a time that people will receive after the event. Okay, so we've got this created, and now what we're going to do is, after we have our event, to make sure that everybody gets this drip of information. So you know what, whether they showed up to that live event or not, they RSVP'd, you have their email address, and now you are going to drip out everything that they would have seen and reinforce everything that they did see on that presentation that they may or may not have shown up to. All right, so we're reinforcing everything, right? So if you can imagine your business is a bucket. It's not the most glamorous representation. If your business was a bucket, you're trying to put stuff in it, right? You're trying to put people in it so that they can get all the information and the goodies that are in there. Well, if there are holes in that bucket, the stuff that you do, the work that you do, the people that you put in it, they're going to fall out. So what we're doing is providing lots of patches on that bucket to keep it from leaking, so that people have as many opportunities as possible to engage with and receive information and content from you. Now, once you have this post-event campaign created, after your event, what you're going to want to do is go back to your event page, go to manage, and then on the 24th or on the night of the 23rd, what you're going to do is you're going to go to this list here. You're going to hit actions on your attendee list. You're going to select those. They're already going to be selected, right? Because it's your attendee list. And then you're going to go right here to add a campaign, follow-up plan, vault, or tags. Okay. You can certainly tag them here. You can do that, at any point, just to make sure internally, that this person, attended such and such class. But the campaign that we're going to add is the post-event for this event. All right, so we're going to apply that, and now pretend this is 7 p.m. Pacific time on the 23rd. We're going to start receiving those emails, dripping out that information. Make sense?
Yes.
Fabulous. All right, one last thing that you want to make sure that you do for your own purposes is a follow-up plan. How many of us have had an event where we have, whether it's a vendor event or an online event, where we've gotten a list of people, probably on paper, where they've said, I'd like to learn more, and we've collected stacks of paper? Maybe quick show of hands, who's done this? I think we all have, right? All right, this is how we prevent that from being a waste of time. I mean, it's ultimately, right, if we have a lead that says, I'm interested in learning, and we don't do something about it, we don't provide them with that thing to engage with, we lose that opportunity, right? And we kind of just wasted our time. So it's never a waste of time if we're following the right steps. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a follow-up plan. All right, so we're going to call this post online event follow-up plan. All right. Now, Diane, when you have an event, what is the first thing that you want to do for each person who has said yes, who has shown up?
Gather their contact information.
Okay, that we've got taken care of already because they RSVP'd and they're in your contact manager. So now that you have their contact information, what do you want to do with them next? Now that they've been to your event.
Put it into my CRM.
Uh-huh. And that's already done for you because they RSVP'd and now they're in your CRM, already there. The contact is already there. So this is after the event. They're in there. So do you like to call or send an email or text?
I try all three.
Okay. So day one, we're going to call and or text attendee. We're going to call it event attendee. And this is actually a coaching. You get points for this. So this is following up. So following up with a prospect, right? So we're going to add that action. Then, and this would be 2 days later, how about we invite to schedule a one-on-one call, right?
Great. Yeah.
Or send an email, right? You could do that even. So send an email if you didn't reach by phone. Okay, again, this is a follow-up. Add that. And then, is there anything else that you would want to do? Any other type of information you would want to send? Would you want to, maybe, do you want to call? Do you want to text? We can leave it at this. But if there was even something that you might want to do internally.
Yeah, there's some basic things that I'm understanding I really want to get from each person. I want to know what their other interest in, or what the other things that they're interested in getting. For instance, are they interested in hormones? Are they interested in business? Are they interested, et cetera? So there's like the checkoff list.
Got you. Okay. So what we're going to do here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, go ahead.
I also like to find out their favorite way of communicating.
Okay.
So text.
So
Messenger.
These things for you, Diane, these are things that actually you're going to want to put in. You remember that first email that we created? So people RSVP'd. So you can send out maybe one additional email that says, hey, I want to be able to reach you the way you want to be reached. Hit reply and let me know your favorite way of communicating. Should I be reaching you by text or messenger or whatever? So that's something that you want to put in that first campaign that they get immediately when they sign up. And then you could also send a questionnaire. Hey, what are the things that you're most interested in? Okay, right? So that is, so now we've got our follow-up plan here, but to go along with what we're talking about, we go back to our campaigns, and this is the one where we get started. Let's write a new message. Quick question. Contact first name. All right. Quick question. I want to make the most of the time we spend together. What's the best way you prefer to be reached? Hit reply and let me know. All right, so there you go. That you can make that send out the same day, day 0. You could write another message here that says, what's your favorite da, 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 da. And you could say, you could ask them any kinds of questions, right? So do they have a favorite product for kids, or, what are you struggling the most with? Like, ask a question, and then in the body of the message, encourage them to hit reply and let me know, and then tell them what to tell you, right? So build these things in. Obviously, you want to fill that out more, but we only have so much time here today. All right, so those are the things that you want to just have there out of the gate, because especially right after somebody RSVPs, you want to be able to engage them quickly, have that conversation quickly. I mean, maybe the class is 2 weeks away, but they're ready to talk to you right now, and you should not wait 2 weeks if somebody's ready right now, right? So let's talk about one more thing here, and that is applying this follow-up plan to the folks who are in this event. So we're going back over to manage, and there's our event. This is also under actions on your attendee list. So this is the other thing that you do right after the event. Okay, so when you go in to add that post-event drip campaign, you're also going to go in and you're going to add a follow-up plan, post-online event follow-up plan. So you do this at 7 p.m. on the 23rd of October, all right? And so now I've got that follow-up plan, and now in the future, when you go to your dashboard, so on the 23rd or the 24th, you're going to see a to-do here to follow up with me and anyone else who attends that class. Make sense? Fantastic. All right, so I know this is a lot of information. I see we've got a lot of chat messages. Do we have, I know our whole team is here, so I'm sure you guys have been fielding questions this whole time.
Yeah, we had a few little questions come in here. Julie had a question. I don't see her on anymore, but she had a question about, can you make this an event at a location in person? I think what you were doing with the recording and everything was more suited to having a Zoom meeting, but Yeah.
Yes. So, so yeah, I mean, everything that I shared with you here today absolutely could be used for a local event. What I want to impress upon you all is that you can put all of these things together and have it become an asset for your business moving forward. So do this offline, but make sure you get an online, recording of you giving this presentation, because it's important to always have a way that you can share right now. Because if somebody says, oh, well, I'm busy, when you're having that online class, or, oh, I'm busy when I'm having that other live class in person. Hey, do you have 20 minutes right now? I've got a video. I made a presentation before. You can look at it now. Awesome. Gwen asks us, would like some help on what types of follow-up actions are best, the nitty-gritty. So where we're talking about events, and folks have just, come on and learned, obviously, ideally, they were there for it live. The best follow-ups are to A, confirm if it's an online event, were they there? Did they get to see it? B, did they have any questions? And then what I really like to do, and this is along the lines of what Diane was actually saying that she likes to do as well, is to start digging into personal questions, right? So what are your goals? What are your struggles? So that you're no longer just talking about products that you could sell them, you're talking about problems you could help them solve. Awesome. This was a bit longer than I expected, but I hope that really helps you guys. Next week, I want to come back and share with you what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to build out the rest of this in Diane's account, and I am actually going to take the presentation from the bundle inside of Grow Workspace for this Kid Sense, and record that on Zoom. Like, I'm going to put the whole thing together and then show you how next week this looks when you have this thing that you can now share. So you have this online event, and then you have the recording, and now it's a shareable asset for you. How do you give the live event? What format? That's a good question. So what you're gonna do, and I think I probably should have, hold on. Okay, this is what you do to share this, of course. Go to manage, and then go to view. Find the name of your event and go to view. This is how you promote this. You grab this link right here and you share this link. And this is really great because, we've got Diane here. She's already filled out her about section, so you can actually see the presenter and learn more about her, right? But this is the event page that you promote. That is what you share. Now, when you're doing the Zoom event itself, what you want to do is have some slides prepared, or have a plan in place, right? You can demo a kit, whatever that might be. That's up to you, to your taste. If you're using a Grow bundle, they have slides already prepared. And that's what I'm going to be using here.
I have a question about storing the slides.
Okay.
Or storing the photos. So, non-techie here. So I'm supposed to download it from Grow Workspace and then I place it somewhere first, right? So that when I pull it up.
So are you talking about for the images?
Yes.
Okay. So you would just download their folder of images and stuff, and then as you are creating pages or creating the events or what have you, you just go to the files on your computer and pull those images out from the files.
I sometimes have trouble saving large files on my desktop or Dropbox. So I guess I'm just not knowing the best way to, they don't want to save because they're too big.
Okay. There are ways, you can do this online with your phone, actually. You can copy image, like save images into the, what do you call it? The photo album on your phone. Because, GetOiling works beautifully on mobile. So you could actually upload the photos that way as well.
Okay, I'll try that.
Awesome. All right, so we had a good question here. I don't have a list of prospect emails, so is there a way to promote the event on Facebook effectively? Absolutely. Grab that link. So once you've created it, the view button is what's going to take you to the page where you can RSVP. That's the link that you share. All right, so the class is a Zoom video, but you share the slides from Grow Workspace during the video. So it's sort of a PowerPoint video with a picture of me in the corner. Yes, Colette, exactly. Exactly like what we're doing right now, actually, where you can see us, you can see our team here, and then you can see if I share my screen, or if I wanted to go through slides, I could share my screen as well. So Zoom allows you to share your screen and turn your video on or off. You could choose to not even have your video on when you do it. Yep.
And you do want to
Awesome.
record it too, right? Did you
Yes.
cover that? Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. Record the Zoom. Record the Zoom. If you didn't record the Zoom, if you do this, you don't record it, just record another one, and you know, and save it. It's obviously going to save to your computer, but then you're going to want to upload that to a place like YouTube. It's really easy to do, or if you want to use Vimeo or another site like that, works just fine. All right, Kathy asked, do we show our screen, or is there another way to present the slides? You do want to show your screen. And guys, even if you don't have PowerPoint presentations, if you have a Sway presentation, you can like share your screen and scroll through a Sway presentation as well. Don't let what you perceive as a lack of something keep you from doing the things that can help you grow. You got everything you need and more. All right. You mentioned uploading the recording to get, no, all right, so Gwen, that's gonna be on the next training. I know some of you guys feel like your heads are totally stuffed and exploding right now. I'm not adding anything more to the pile. So if you need to go back and, you know, and rewatch, obviously catch this recording, but basically what you wanna do, step by step, and I'm gonna share my screen one more time with you guys before we get going, and I'm gonna share with you, screenshot this, okay? And I will create and share with you guys, you know, in PDF version, what this looks like. So you're going to have an event page, right? You're going to have a campaign that confirms that they signed up. You can add any additional questions, right? Add questions about goals, products, etc., right? These are optional. Add more questions. All right, so this is the things that lead up to the live event, right when they sign up, that they get right away. All right, you need to be prepared to send out an email 24 hours before, 1 hour before. You need to have an event set up. So let me add one more here. Set up Zoom and put event and put link to join in 1 hour reminder email. All right. And then you have your campaign for post-event for nurturing those leads, dripping that additional information, and then having those calls to action. Set up a time with me. Hey, you learned this. You want to put this to use, right? All right. And then, of course, you want your follow-up plan to make sure that you don't drop the ball. And then you take that link where they can RSVP, share it on social. If you have an email list, broadcast the event. If you have a team, send this to, like, let your team use what you're doing, right? You're giving a presentation, your team can lean on you, and they can send their prospects to see you. Is that not going to help your team grow if they can leverage you giving a presentation, right? And then, of course, you can text broadcast the link with GetOiling, or if you use other services for that. And then, of course, talk about it, share it with people, just the same way that you would be in line at the store and talking about an oil or something or other. It's just another thing that you can offer. Hey, I'm doing a class on this. Would you be interested in that? Here, give me your email, I'll sign you up, right? Or here's the webpage. So that's the breakdown. Next week, we're gonna talk about this stuff, about making it evergreen, but we're not doing that today. Awesome, awesome. Let's see, Colette, look for that in your email. I will send that out to you guys for sure. All right, if someone registers for an event and then someone eventually signs up and I upload new members from the VO, will I automatically combine into one contact? That's yes, right?
Yes, as long as they use the same email address. Sorry, I had to find my mute button. Yeah.
Yeah. The system is very smart, and if there are two pieces of information that are the same, right, they combine into the same contact.
Yeah, I think it tries to look it up by email address and then phone if they type that in. So, yeah.
Suzette asked, I thought on your Zooms there was no video for participants because only audio shows up on the bottom left. I can't see participants. Can you or others see participants? That is an option to see participants. It's so the Zoom that's built into GetOiling is not Zoom webinars, it's Zoom meetings. And so the option is there. You could have 5 people who could all see each other if you wanted, but I would not for this.
I have a question about doing the live event. I would be nervous just to start it if I hadn't done it before. Is there a way to do a test run so that I know like what buttons to press and how to move things around and like how?
Yeah, absolutely. You can actually start the Zoom meeting beforehand. It's not going to hurt anything. So if you want to try it a day before, or a week before, or 10 minutes before, you can get it started and then play around with it. You don't actually have to have any attendees. Although, I mean, that does, if you have somebody on there, that's helpful. Like if you have a friend or something who's willing to hop on the other line, that can be helpful just to see how that works. And then you can play with turning on video, muting, unmuting, all that kind of fun stuff. So yeah, it's good to do a practice run just so you know how it works.
Great.
Absolutely. Yeah. Test everything. When you create an RSVP yourself just to make sure, did I get that email right away? Do I like the way it looks? When you do an online presentation, definitely run a test run so you're comfortable with it. Diane had a question. If I share for my team, is that okay with Grow Workspace? So long as you aren't sharing the assets that Grow Workspace created, then you're good to go. So if you are hosting this event, you are giving this presentation, you are sending out this information, their stuff is designed to be shared with prospects. And so if you are the leader of your team are holding a presentation that your builders prospects can come to, that's not in violation of anything. That's you being a leader. But what you can't do is take their campaigns, their sways, their stuff like that, and have other people who are not members of Grow Workspace using that. Awesome. Okay, great questions, you guys.
One more from Colette I see under Q&A. So the Zoom option about videos where the attendees are not seen. So I think you had touched on that briefly when you were setting up the Zoom meeting. When you're creating the Zoom meeting in GetOiling, there's the options to start meeting for the host or start the video for the host or the participants. Just check it so it's on for host and not for participants. That doesn't prevent other people from like turning it on later, but usually people don't, unless you ask them to. So.
Yeah, and maybe one of the things that you can make a note of for yourself is, make sure you, leave everything muted and turned off, and then we'll open up for questions at the end if you want to, and then you'll have the option to do that.
And awesome. I know there is like a mute all button too. You can mute everyone with one click. So
perfect. Yeah. That's good, because that could get crazy, right? All right, fantastic. Who's going to go set up an online meeting this week or an online presentation this week? Ooh,
lots of hands.
I can't wait to see it. All right, we'll come back next week and we're going to talk about how we can take this strategy evergreen. And I hope I see some of these hand raised. I want to see your link. Send me your links, ashley@getoiling.com. Send me what you work on, and maybe we'll even bring you out and work in your account next week. Fantastic. All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys and your time and our team for being here. Always good to see everyone in one place. They're all in Fargo. I'm way far away in New York, so good deal. All right. So yeah, that's it for the week. Thank you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you, everyone.
Thank you.